Roll call, please. Mr. Zajac? Here. Ms. Renee?
Here.
Mr. Woodell? Here. Mr. Joseph? Here. Mrs. Lewis?
Here.
Mr. Calhoun?
Here.
Mayor Brown?
Here. Notice requirements, chapter 231, public law 1975, been satisfied by publication of said notice in Asbury Park Press and Coaster and by filing a copy with the municipal clerk. Everybody, please join me in flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First order of business, our council meeting minutes from May 13th. What's the council's pleasure? Receive and file. Receive and file by Mr. Wardell.
Second.
Second by Ms. Renee. All in favor?
Aye.
Received, thank you. Council meeting minutes from May 28th. What's the council's pleasure? Receive and file. Receive and file by Mr. Kosis. Second. Second by Mr. Zajac. All in favor?
Aye.
And May 2019 monthly report in Neptune City.
Submitted here is the May 2019 monthly report from the Neptune City Police Department. Total calls in May 2019, 990, 953, 2018. DWI arrests, 2, and May 2018, 3. Traffic accidents, 2019, 23, and May 2018, 28. Narcotics incidents, May 2019, 9, May 2018, 12. Violation of borough ordinances, 35 in May 2019, 33 in May 2018. Arrest, 39 in May 2019, 55 in May 2018. Motor vehicle summonses, 176 in May 2019, 161 in May 2018. And 16 officers attended additional training courses.
Thank you. It's council's pleasure.
Received and filed.
Received and filed by Mr. May. Second. Second by Mr. Wardell. All in favor?
Aye.
Received, thank you. Public participation on agenda items. Anybody from the public wish to be heard on any of the agenda items? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on. Anybody here from the Board of Education?
Oh, I'll speak up now.
Would you like to-
Nothing too crazy to report. They had graduation.
Can you tell me?
Identify myself?
Yes,
Dave Whalen, 105th Ave.
member of the Board of Education.
Denver Board of Education.
Thank you.
They had their graduation June 19th. It was really nice. I think it was 26 kids. Last meeting, they had a presentation. Two groups presented their award-winning Makers Fest presentations. They were like innovative inventions, really cool stuff. They won in 2 separate divisions. We're currently starting the interim BA and CSA search for reviews tonight. And the permanent CSA, we're starting the process through the Board of Education, NJSBA. So,
Okay, thank you. Can you tell us when your next Board of Education meeting is?
Can I get back to you on that?
Yes, you can. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I have it on my calendar, not my
It's the
head.
opportunity for everybody to hear it if anybody wants to.
Yeah, I
attend.
apologize.
That's all right.
Okay, it's the 25th of July,
July 25th at
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yes,
at
sir.
Woodrow Wilson School.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you
Oh,
very much.
also, one more thing.
Yes.
The last day of school, the 20th, Vinnie Curry came by. We had
Yes.
him come and do a presentation for the Drug Alliance and DARE. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, he definitely knows where to come back home always. So.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
And if I could add, Mayor,
Sure.
please remind them to present Dr. Deb with a plaque under safety, saying, with the greatest appreciation, we hereby present Dr. Deborah McCora for your unwavering support to the City Police Officers Association. You have forever made a difference in our community. I'd like to thank you for that.
Thank you. No old business, we will move on to new business, resolution 19-127, payment of bills. Somebody like to offer that? Offered by Ms. Lewis. Second. Second by Mr. Zajac. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac?
Yes.
Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
Yes.
Mr. Kosis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yes. Resolution is adopted. Thank you.
Resolution 2019-128, resolution to close Ridge Terrace for graduation block party.
Thank you. Somebody like to offer that?
I'll offer.
Offered by Mr. Zajac,
Second.
second by Ms. Renee. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac? Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yeah.
Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2019-129, permission to conduct a coin toss for the Neptune City First Aid Squad.
Would somebody like to offer that?
I'll offer that.
Offered by Mr. Calhoun,
Second.
second by Mr. Kosis. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac?
Yes.
Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. If we skip this next one, does it mean that it doesn't count? You'll see what I'm talking about.
Resolution 2019-130, accepting the resignation of Special Class 2 Officer Michael Campanella as School Resource Officer.
Would somebody like to offer that?
So offered.
Offered by Ms. Renee, second by Ms. Lewis. Any questions?
I'd just like to say that, I'm really happy for, Mr. Campanella. He's getting a better job elsewhere, closer to his home, and, really happy for him there, but it's our loss, because the children just really, really loved him, and he did a fantastic job. And I just want to thank him for the time that he did spend here in Neptune City, and we really appreciate him.
I'll pass that on to him. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also kind of reiterate, both my children were disappointed that Officer Mike wasn't going to be there, but you wouldn't know he's only been there 1 year. He was just such a part of that school that 1 year he was there. Did a fantastic job. I wish him all the best.
So, look, we'll get back to that. So, 2 years ago, the council decided it was really our responsibility. We really had to create a special two position for Woodrow Wilson School, the safety of our children, our teachers, and the facility. Very important. I had met Mike prior to him coming on as a resource officer, but I really didn't know him. And I had no idea how great of a fit he would be for the school. The kids loved him. He really found he retired from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, and for him to find that niche to really be that engaged with our kids, it was great to have him. We'll miss him, but we will see him, because he did assure me that he has a garden to tend at the school with the kids, so I want to thank him for that. Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac?
Yes.
Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yes, we're for grad.
Resolution adopted. Thank you.
Resolution 19-131, resolution to refund tax overpayment.
Somebody like to offer that?
I'll offer that.
Offered by Mr. Lewis,
Second.
second by Mr. Calhoun. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac?
Yes.
Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Now we have public participation. Does anybody from the public wish to be heard? Please state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Robert Fusco. I'm on 55 Laird Avenue. Some of you may know that I'm trying to make an effort to do something about the PFH, Nylabone, and the air quality in town. Most of you may know it, but it turns out that with the Freedom of Information Act I filed, it's been going on since 1999. I came here 2 years ago with all the information from the Freedom of Information Act that I followed, and I put right there for everyone to read. So basically, I'm just trying to figure out what would be the next process to go from having this conversation be part of public participation, become new business, to make some type of ordinance where the people in the town determine that it has become an issue, that the law now needs to reflect the problems of the people in the town. So, like I said, I'm trying to go on this, trying to figure out what the next move would be. So I go on the website, neptunecity.gov, the town's website, right? So I click on a couple tabs up there. One tab is the Neptune City Environmental Committee, okay? So the mission statement for the Neptune City Environmental Committee is to help protect environmental quality, natural resources, and character for residents of Neptune City and surrounding communities. The only issue is this committee doesn't exist. There isn't any information about who this committee consists of, unless I have anything else aside from this, nice, well-written sentence. I don't think for a second that if this committee did exist, that Nylabone would just cease existence and just say, hey, we'll call it a day. I don't think that would be the case. But what bothers me is there's supposed to be a committee that's supposed to be looking after the environment, okay? Keeping maybe that in check along with other companies, other people. And, I don't understand how something as important as the environment just gets neglected. I don't understand every aspect of small towns. There's no way I know that. You know that I don't know that. So for the, to have a mission statement like that, I want to know who's helping protecting, preserving, and enhancing Neptune City's quality, because I can tell you right now, that's not the case, okay? Maybe a committee would help, reflect the people's opinions on air, on land, on, water, water, whatever it is. Sure. But this doesn't make sense to me. All right, as far as I'm concerned, TFH thing, I don't know if that's a lost cause anymore. I don't think that that's fair. We should just contact ACLU and say, hey, listen, the quality of air is not good, not up to snuff. There isn't anything being done about the town's perspective, because as far as I can tell, you've done as much as you can as a whole. I don't know. Once again, I don't know every aspect of the town. But I can tell you right now, this Neptune City Environmental Committee needs to exist. The environment doesn't care if a Republican or Democrat or how much money you make. This needs to be, I would say priority number one. Because I'm not saying anyone's going rogue or anything crazy, but if you look at the front page of the Asbury Park Press, I don't know if anyone saw it today, but it's talking about Oyster Creek, I believe it is, the Fourth River, with storing nuclear waste, tons of radioactive waste that they're stuck with for thousands of years. Thank God we don't have to worry about that. That is an insane issue. I'm talking about here just cleaning up the damn air, because they've been doing this since 1999. With the Freedom of Information Act, we found lead in their building, and no one can up here confidently tell me what's going up in that air. What I suggested 2 years ago was an independent environmental impact study, not one from the federal government, because they're the ones that determine the laws. This law doesn't work. So I don't think, let's say a safety inspection audit or whatever it is from the federal government is useful as an independent investigation for the people who could actually see it from a perspective, let's say outside of the law. You know what I'm trying to say as far as the groups of people that should be doing the inspection.
I'll answer some of that stuff for you.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna give you the information I have. It may not be what you wanna hear, but all I can give you is the facts. And we as a governing body we have to abide by the laws, and we have to abide by the advice of our attorney. So with that being said, I understand your concern. First, the environmental committee does exist. It does certain things in town, from flowers to part of recycling and things of that nature. Maybe they don't boast about what they do enough. Maybe we should. Maybe the environmental committee should talk about more things that they do. But back to TFH, as we've stated for the last, I'm going to say 2 years, we can only do so much as a governing body. There's a point of harassment from a municipal government. Like I said, we only have a certain policies and laws that we have to follow, and we have to make sure that they follow. And as we've stated for quite some time now, they are in compliance with local regulations. We have reached out to other entities. They are inspected by the FDA because they produce food there. They are spot checked by the health department. There are independent inspections of that facility. Some of the things that go on in there are patent protected. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know what, I'm sure they're not allowed to have illegal chemicals or anything, as we've been told. They do not. They produce a food product, just as if they were producing, and I think in some cases, more strict than human food. I hope so, because I don't think my dog eats any of it, but my dog's kind of only eats steak and turkey, I think. But we, as a governing body, we only can do just so much. We are not the do all, say all over the operation of a business. We had somebody in and saying that TFH was violating DEP regulations and they needed permits and everything. Well, I looked into that, and if the DEP has a problem with TFH, the DEP is the one who is going to regulate them. We are not the DEP. Like I said, we are not a law enforcement entity. We can't go close their doors. If they're doing something illegal, we've gone through the health department, we spoke to the state health department, the county health department's been down here multiple times. We have gotten nothing in this borough from DEP, the EPA, the FDA, telling us that TFH is violating any of their regulations. And if they were, they would be handling it, not us. I mean, if there's a truck in the side streets or idling out back or stuff like that, that's our local jurisdiction. That's what we can tell them. We can make them abide by those laws. But the other laws they're not our laws that we make them do. Does that make sense?
To an extent,
I
sure,
mean-
because like, once again, like, I do have still more questions, if I may. Because once again, it comes down to law and ordinance, and the land use board. Okay, so aren't these people the ones to determine what those laws actually are? As far as the law being written, let's figure, like, law evolves, right?
That's
Eventually, at one point in time, we're gonna have to come up with new ones, whether it's revolve around new technology or new landscapes. It's just the nature of law, as far as I know. Eventually, we're gonna need to write new law. We're gonna need to go through new ordinances. What I'm suggesting here is by the law and ordinance committee and the land use board, then, why can't we just pull up municipal land use law, which is NJSA 40-55, see what it looks at, just see what it looks like, and say, hey, listen, maybe you're not even land use like properly. This thing's been changing zones left and right. Like, why is it people just flip the switch, being, hey, we're gonna be industrial, tomorrow we're not? That's not mixed use, that's industrial. Whether you're blowing stuff in the air 1 day a week or like 7 days a week. The moment you did something like that, that's industrial as far as I'm concerned. So the issue I'm going back to once again is the law and ordinance, is the land use board. That we're telling you, these laws don't work. They don't. So once again, you say you can only do so much. I understand that. Once again, what can I do? I have even less power. All I can do is sit here and breathe all that in. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help anybody. People want to come to this town. It's awesome. It's coming up. Looking a lot better. They're gonna move in. They're gonna, what the hell is that smell? You're conning people. People don't get that when you get shown a place to live. That smell's not 24/7. But once again, how do we get something as far as the public participation? This conversation, as far as I'm concerned, needs to be a step, higher. How do you make this a part of a public, let's say, new business or presentation or something where we can change this law? It's just important. Ordinances change. I refuse to believe that they can't. Now, as far as having a little, ordinance revolve around a huge building like that, they're still gas on pound. They don't have as much pull as I think that they do. We have something on the website, master plan for Neptune City. It's a PDF file from 1999. Okay, the master plan, one of the very first sentences in this master plan is maintain the presence of TFH publishing in the borough and make sure it's still an important goal. Like, we're going backwards for these people, and we're getting nothing in return. I think a fair compromise, you guys can maintain your business, you can do exactly what you're doing if you stop making the smoke. That's a great compromise. We're not asking to change our business model, we're asking them to evolve the business model to reflect the needs of the people. And that's all I
Well, they have been continually upgrading their
It's not working,
their
you know it's
systems, and I think some of the stuff they've done has definitely made it a little bit better. I personally haven't smelt it, and I live next to you.
June 11th was terrible. June 11th was terrible.
Yeah, well, I don't have a date. Like I said, I don't recall that. I may have been at work.
Yeah, not a lot of people are gonna be around. We're
Yeah.
working, the hours, it's
So,
not consistent, the timing either, so it's expected.
I can go back to where we were before. We, as a governing body, can only do so much by what the laws that are set in place. We can't go rezone somebody's property. That's illegal. It's a lawsuit that might cost the borough a lot of money, and we would lose anyway. We're not allowed to just go rezone somebody's. We can't rezone them to make them leave Neptune City. We can't create a law that puts them in violation. And the attorney here, I mean, Greg's the one who informed me on all this. If I'm saying something that's incorrect, please, you know, that's our job to represent you as taxpayers in the borough, to avoid those things. Are there avenues that can be taken? There are. But by this governing body, I hate to say it, but as a governing body, we can only do so much before we start violating the law and their rights as a business. They have every approval, and some of them, I think TFH has been there, and they've been zoned manufacturing. I know you're shaking your head, but you're wrong. Since 1972, and there's documentation to back it up. They've been manufacturing. Now, do those laws say that they're manufacturing a book, a television, or a bone? That zone allows all of that. It's not specific on zoning. You can jump in anytime if I'm wrong.
No, the laws have to be enforced by the state. And these are state and federal guidelines that really dictate, you know, who is the enforcement agency. It's not going to be the municipality in this situation. It's going to be this, whether it's a state inspector or a federal inspector that's going to enforce those laws. Whether it's the DEP, the EPA, and you know, other agencies throughout the state.
Yeah.
They certainly have a lot more power, and they have a lot more resources at this time.
Now listen, I've been sitting up here for the past 3 years and telling everybody the same thing. We've done everything we can. There's other avenues, there's other phone calls, you know. This governing body, you know, I don't like sitting up here every single meeting getting beat up, saying the same exact thing. If I could make that smell go away, I live here too. I don't own stock in TFH. You know, I have no commitment to them other than they are a taxpayer in town, they are a business in town, and they are operating under all of the guidelines and the laws of Neptune City. If they're breaking a federal law or a state law that we do not govern, it's not our place to do so. I can't send a chief over and have him write a ticket because he doesn't have a DEP permit. It's not our jurisdiction. Am I right that you can't do that, right?
No,
Yeah, I think so. But, and I get it, you know, trust me, I've called the state, I've talked to the DEP, and as far as I've been told, still to this day, there is not one single piece of documentation sent to the borough, to the administrator, that he's informed me of, that TFH is in any violation. We've gone through with the fire marshal. We've done all of that stuff. They are not in any violation. I mean, that's, like I said, I'm telling you everything I know and everything I've been told on the legal, you know, our legal avenues. I know sometimes it's not what everybody wants to hear, but, you know.
Here, I have a question for you and for Andrew, if I may. Have we sent a letter to DEP recently? Are we able to, Andrew? Like, that would put us in any type of violation, just requesting their help and letting them know that the public.
They are very well aware. I've met with them multiple times. They're
sometimes
doing.
A letter might, you know, be.
Well, they've gotten letters, they've gotten phone calls, they've gotten visits from the DEP, they've gotten visits from the Monmouth County Health Department. I've been over there, we've met them with the attorneys, with the administrator.
Not,
They know the concern
but
about
if
it.
we send a letter to DEP requesting their assistance.
Right, so there's and I'm going by what our attorney has told us, there is such a point of harassment. We cannot target, we can't target business in our town.
It's not a target, it's requesting.
Well, that's
DEP,
targeted.
not TMA, but DEP.
That's,
The problem is that we, you know, and I understand it's a sensitive subject in the municipality, but it's a subjective thing. It's not objective where it's, you know, this smell is violating X, Y, and Z. It's obnoxious to certain people, or, you know, some people that live in a certain area. But as far as sending a letter to the DEP, the EPA, you know, the federal government, you know, the governor, I mean, those are things you can do and just say, hey, you know, would you mind taking a look at this? But, you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, how many times are you gonna, you know, I believe that the
We've
mayor
done that.
and the administration
We've done that. We've
has
phone
contacted
calls
the
and
DEP
letters.
and the agencies that are responsible for enforcement to notify them that, you know, the citizens and the residents have an issue here. But, you know, you can keep on sending letters, but if there is no violation, and it's the smell that is a subjective measure, then there's not much that they can do.
It couldn't hurt us in any way.
But I've said, we've done that. And that is the response we've gotten. As far as the borough, you know, we've reached out to them, and they tell us they are not violating anything. They understand that it smells. TFH has admitted they have some odor. They've spent a lot of money. Some people don't think that what they've done has done anything. I think it has helped. I've had people tell me it's not as bad as it used to be. They said, will there never be a smell? That they said they could never guarantee that. When they go to clean their filters and change their filters, you're gonna have a bad smell come out of here for a brief period, but it doesn't last. But that's, I mean, like I said, we've been down that road. We've talked about this for 3 years, and I've been there. I've been into screaming matches with the people at TFH. You know, in my opinion, I think, I think TFH is really almost to the point where they're an adversary now of ours. They are no longer, that this town doesn't, they know that this town does not want them. Some people in this town do not want TFH here. They're not going here.
I think it's important to distinguish that we just want clean air. It's not that we don't want.
I get that, and the air is clean, it just smells once in a while.
You cannot just tell me that.
Yes, it is, I can absolutely tell you that it is. We've proven that, they've come in with reports, they've given us reports, we've asked about that, there is no toxins coming out of that building.
It's not a matter of toxins, it's a matter of quality of life and comfort. So what I'm just trying to say, it's like, it's not that we want TVH gone, that has to be abundantly clear. That's not an objective to eliminate this company from this town or have these people lose their jobs. The mission is just to clean the air. That's
Like
all
I
it is.
said, I mean, maybe some people can go knock on their door, that, you know,
I know, but I just want to.
knock on TFH's door, maybe they'll give you a meeting, you can explain to them. Maybe you can explain to them better than I have, and the Monmouth County Board of Health, and the DEP, but again, if they are not violating the law, they have rights. They do have rights. I did not create the laws. I'm not the one who set up the federal regulations. I'm not the one that, this governing body did not do that. But if they're operating under that, I mean, there's just so much we can do. We are not, we're not legislators, we're not Congress. Well, we're not Congress because we're all here actually, so, we can't make we can't change laws, that directly will affect their operation in Neptune City. We can't do that. So, all we can do is just keep going. I mean, it's a constant fight. I usually speak to somebody at TFH every couple of weeks, whether it be Mr. Axelrod or their operations manager, and you said it. And now that anything they do, any move they make, they hear from us, whether if it's a truck in the neighborhood or if they're repairing broken concrete on the on their entrance or anything, it gets reported. The police are over there. If there's a truck in the neighborhood, we're on it. Everything that we can do, we're doing. So again, I don't know what else to say. So this is the same answer that we've had for a while. They get to operate under the same guidelines of the law as everyone else, whether we're 100% happy with it or not. They have legal rights, and they have rights just like we do. So it's not done, I'm not, I'm not gonna not call them if I get when I get a complaint or I smell it, or, I will call and I'll talk to, if Glenn doesn't answer, I'll talk to Terry. And like I said, they have said that they cannot guarantee that you will never get a smell. Because when they have to clean their filters and, their ionizer or whatever they put in, when that needs to get cleaned, it's offline. So, yes.
Arlene Sharapa, 14 Tucker Drive. I want to change the subject in just a minute, but just to
No,
comment.
that's quite all right, change the subject.
But I do want to comment, if anyone who came into this room this morning, this evening, should have smelled Nylabone, because it was very strong outside as I got out of my car and came in.
I just got here and I didn't smell it.
So, it might be where the wind is blowing, but I parked my car next to the library, and as soon as I got out, I could smell it.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to clarify, it wasn't actually a zoning, wasn't it a variance that was given to them for manufacturing? What was the zoning that, because from what I understand, it's always been zone commercial, and they're actually, what they're doing is actually industrial.
No, it's under, manufacturing is permitted in that zone. It always has been. And manufacturing it's a broad spectrum. It doesn't say manufacturing of a widget. It's manufacturing. And then there's a list of things that fall under the manufacturing. I've been through the subcode, I've been with the construction official, we've gone over with attorneys, I've gone over with the land use attorney. They're operating, I'm gonna say it again, they are operating under all the legal guidelines that they need. Some people may not like those legal guidelines, but they have rights. And
So there was never a variance that was given for them to
for
perform
manufacturing, no, not from what I believe. I think 1972, and then that was actually was it 72? It was
So what is it zoned now? That whole area where is it zoned manufacturing?
that whole area.
Which whole area? Just where TFH is?
I believe TFH, I think there's other areas that are manufacturing also, because if it falls into there's no such thing as a manufacturing zone. That's not a zone. Manufacturing falls under whether if it's
What does it fall
commercial,
under?
industrial, and I don't have the book in front of me. But there's not a manufacturing zone. That's not a zone.
No, I know it's not a zone, but what zone does manufacturing fall under? Is it commercial or industrial?
Well, what we could look for is, I'll ask for a clarification from the land use attorney as to TFH and zoning.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. And then the other question I have is, I believe when they were going to build this addition, that it was for a warehouse and office space. So I think some of the residents have questions about, were they allowed to also increase production? Because that seems to that's what seems to have occurred, is that there's been an increase in production, and is the production occurring still in the same place? And then, the last question I have on that topic is, exactly, you said they've done what they can. Can you be more specific and let us know exactly what has TFH actually done to improve?
They've put in charcoal filters, and they put in a air ionizer that electronically eliminates odor from the air. And when they're manufacturing, it produces that smell all the time. The area that produces that smell all the time. It's like if you're cooking sauce, it's the whole time you're cooking sauce, it's making that smell. When they have to shut it down and clean it is when there might be odor. But pretty much you're guaranteed you're gonna get a loft of odor out of the building. Would be for a short time. There's no way of them knowing, that was the other thing they said, there's no way of them knowing. They can't just schedule it because the equipment is electronic and it tells them when it gets to a certain point, they have to stop and clean it so that they can put it back online. So they can't say, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna clean it. As far as their manufacturing, how much they're manufacturing, if they can manufacture as much as they want. That's why, they're allowed, it's free enterprise. I can't go to Kelly's and tell them they can only have 4 beer taps. You you can only serve 4 beers, and you can only serve 200 people a day in your bar. You know, we can't do that. They have a legal right to run their business underneath all of their rules and regulations. So as far as if they increase manufacturing, there's no limit on manufacturing that they're allowed to do there. There is no limit. I did look into that. I checked into that with the construction official and subcode, you know.
And so I'll just reiterate what I said at the last meeting. Going forward with any other properties that are developed, I think that we ought to take, under advisement what just happened with PFH and make really sure that when we're approving something, that we're not approving something
So,
down the line.
right.
That something like this could
So,
happen
you
again.
know, you can't always see everything.
Right.
But, you know, every application that comes in front of the zoning board, or we have a land use board, every application that comes in front of the land use board is advertised, it's in the newspaper, and there's public hearings. And there's very seldom is there one. Well, there's never one, because you always have opportunity to appeal it. There's a certain amount of days, even after the zoning or the land use board approves something, there's another certain amount of days, I want to say 28, 45 days, what's that, 28 days? But anyway, 45 days after they even get final approval, that it can be appealed. And again, there's multiple meetings, and there's a lot of questions that get asked. If you're interested, come to those meetings, see what's going on in town, because, you know, maybe you do see something that this board doesn't see, you know, and questions are always welcome. There's always public participation. Now, mind you, just because you might have a question or a complaint about something may not be a legitimate reason to deny an application. But that is the opportunity, and that's not this governing body.
Right.
It's not this governing body that does that. It's done with an attorney and a planner and an engineer. Nothing's done like, overnight and, hidden from the residents or anything like that. Everything's noticed. So land use board meetings are on the second Tuesday, I think, of every month, right? Second Tuesday of every month. They're at 7 o'clock here in these chambers. If there's nothing, they will cancel a land use board meeting if there's no applications. There's no point in coming here. But please come on out.
And I don't want to monopolize things too much, but to address the whole issue of the environmental committee, which I assume exists, but just is not on the website.
It does exist.
Yeah. It might be good to update the website so that these, the residents can see what's going on.
I actually chair the environmental committee here in Neptune City, along with myself, Mr. Mayor. We actually met this evening. There is an environmental committee, and actually it was approved on January 1st. When we approved all of our committees that we were going to chair. Under my committee is the environmental committee, so it does meet, it does discuss things. We actually today we're discussing a potential looking into a plastic bag ban here in Neptune City. Mr. Day, myself, Mr. Coase is all kind of divided up which businesses we're going to go talk to first. There's taking. We also have the issue with the feral cats in town. That's been brought to our attention. So we do meet and we do discuss things. And so the environment committee is very much involved, very much active. And when things do get done, it gets done here in the public meeting. What goes on in those committee meetings will be shared with the members of the governing body here. If we take any action, then we'll share it with the community as a whole.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'd like to move on to a concern that I have, which is actually at Memorial Park.
Right.
This past weekend, I don't know if other residents were aware, but the entire Riverview Avenue was full, the parking lot was full. There must have been, I think Saturday there might have been an approved use for the pavilion. I'm not sure about Sunday whether or not there was or not, but there were volleyball nets set up. There were tons of people on the beach, in the water, waiting. I did file a police complaint, but not, like I said to the police officer, I wasn't trying to get anyone in trouble, but I just wanted to document the fact that we do have an ordinance that people are not supposed to be in the water. And I believe Also that they're not supposed to be using the pavilion if there's more than 10 people. I don't know if that's the case, you know, if it's first come, first served. I don't know what the story is there exactly with how that's enforced. But my concern is, and you know this goes, you know, with the SRCC, is the water quality. And we know that in the past, the water has not tested well. Last year, there were 3 instances where the
So, yes, there were. So was Belmar and Asbury and
True.
same exact one.
So what I'm just asking, though, is that we really should have the water quality testing like is done at like L Street Beach or Bradley or Ocean Grove. Maybe we should have a bigger sign there that says swim at your own risk, because this is what you have, you know, in the other neighboring towns. Just going forward, because this is the beginning of the season, and I think the secret is out and people know that we've got a really nice beach. I was in Dollar Volume and I heard people talking about that's where they were going because it was free, you know, and, you know, so, it's a good thing, and I want people, I don't mind having a free beach, and I don't mind our residents, you know, I'm not so sure that the people that are coming there now are necessarily locals, but it, you know, it is getting a reputation, so I just think that we ought to be really thinking, you know, as a town, exactly what we want to do to make sure that we have some control over what's going on there, you know, at Memorial Park. And like I said, one thing that I would like to see is, you know, years ago, we know that even though there was no lifeguard there, that the Monmouth County Board of Health did do water testing at that beach. So I think it would be valuable and helpful if they would resume that, because I would feel more comfortable. The other complaint, and actually I was getting some complaints from people about the dogs in that area, that now that it's, you know, it is summer and people are on the beach, and people are letting their dogs run off leash on the beach, in the sand. They're in the playground area, and I'm just wondering if for the summertime we shouldn't consider some type of similar ban that exists in other towns during the summer months. I mean, you've got young children, you know, big dogs, they don't mesh too well. So I'm just want the council to think about that.
I can address a couple of those real quick. One is, I'm glad to hear you acknowledge that we, for those of you who don't enjoy Memorial Park, it took us several years with a lot of help from multiple agencies, but, and a lot of grants, a lot of hard work. Neptune City, we do have a gem, and I saw a freeholder come in. He's been a big help with, through Monmouth County and some of the grants that we've received to make that beach what it is. And you're right, it is packed, which it's a good thing. And the water is clean. If you go in the water, you do it at your own risk. We do not provide beach badges. We don't charge to get on the beach. Some of the stuff is done with open space money and Green Acres money. So it's open to everybody. Monmouth County Board of Health has been more than helpful with us over the last several years. They're very happy with the final end product of Memorial Park. We have horseshoe crabs back, which we had not had for a long time. You're aware of that.
Of course.
They were not there for a long time. Horseshoe crabs are they come to clean water. They will not come if the water's polluted. So as far as that, I mean, a complaint about Neptune City Beach being busy, I get it. If people are violating the law, you said you had people complaining to you, they should not be complaining to you. If they have a problem with dogs running, or someone using the pavilion that's not supposed to, or they don't have a permit, or they're parking on the street or something, they should be calling our police department. So if somebody has a complaint, call the police department. They shouldn't tell you and then come to me, because it's kind of, we're a couple days late. We can't do anything about it now. I mean, if they're down there doing something and somebody sees it, I don't know if you were down there over the weekend or not for them to complain to you, but I know police officers, I mean, I know a couple guys get off and they walk through the park on the weekends if they can. And, if there's something that somebody sees that's violating, you're not supposed to let your dog off the leash. If your dog's off the leash, you gotta call the PD, you know? And if somebody's doing something that's illegal.
Is there some type of signage though that we could have?
Yeah, there's
or-
signs all over the place that say, leash your dog, there's ordinance numbers. Now, just because there's laws out there doesn't mean everybody's gonna follow them to the T. But, yeah, there's signs up down there, you know, about leash your dog, the ordinance numbers.
And they are allowed on the beachfront as,
Sure.
well,
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying,
dogs
I
are-
would
but they
like
have
to
to
see
be on
us,
a leash.
I would like to see us address that concern.
Well, that would be for the police department to, you know, they would address the laws. We as a governing body, those laws exist, so it's up to the police department to enforce them. You know,
You can have an ordinance that says that from May to September, that dogs are not allowed on the beachfront?
no, I'm not in favor of it. If you keep your dog on the leash, your dog should be allowed on the beach.
Well, you've got young children on the beach and you've got big dogs, and I think that, you know, it's not a sanitary issue, it's, you know, that's just my personal
Yeah,
opinion.
I understand, I get it, you know.
And actually, the one email that came through, by one of the people, they actually saw toilet paper along and scum along the water edge line, so that's why they had written.
Again,
So,
Again,
and that's what I said,
if you
I said,
have a
next
line
time,
of
take a picture.
complainers that
Yeah.
are emailing you for whatever reason, that they're emailing you because they have things to complain about, they should be calling the police department. I didn't know, you know,
I don't think
unless-
that they necessarily know to do that.
Thank you, Larry, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, please handle it, I mean, this is
Anything to do
ridiculous.
with enforcing the law, they should be calling the police, not calling Mr. Rappa.
Well, no, they're contacting the Shark River Cleanup Coalition because they know.
You're not law
I
enforcement
did,
either.
no, I did,
Well, we
no, I
haven't
did.
got, the only complaint we ever got in the past few weeks
Complaints.
was from you, from the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And we do periodically do patrols down on the weekends. And yes, we do see some children up to the ankles splashing around in the water. We're not gonna tell them to get out of the water.
No, these people were dunking, they were in big floatables, and, yeah, there was.
Well, if that's in the middle of the river, we can't even enforce that, the state police has to enforce that. We don't have any jurisdiction whatsoever in the river, in the middle of the river.
All right, well, like I said, I'm just concerned about the safety, the health, you know, and just any type of liability we might have.
Thank you, just instruct them to call the police. Thank you. Thank you.
And then, one more thing, Tucker Drive and Sylvania Avenue, there's two big potholes that I think, and I'm just wondering, what's the best way to get the Public Works Department to fix that?
You contact the municipality to the administrator, and it goes to the administrator. All phone calls should go to the municipality, not to council members. Even people call me about things, and I say, okay, I'm just gonna call the administrator. So everything has to go through the administrator, or through our office, through the administrator's office. This way it's documented. And then the administrator will instruct Public Works, if it's our responsibility, Public Works will go out and fix it. But you can't, no one can email you and say anything about it, or you can't call a council member, because a council member can't call DPW and tell them to do something. They would still have to call the administrator. So just anything like that, call the municipality, and they'll take it from there. And then it's documented. Because the administrator, you know, he's gonna put that, a note down that you called, and then he's gonna immediately call whoever, whether it be a PD, DPW, whoever that's really responsible for it. Because I don't fill potholes. I mean, I'm not going out filling potholes. I don't think anybody else up here does it either. That's Garrett's specialty. And some of them are not ours to fill, just so you know. He's on Brighton, and
Yes, we have filled it numerous times. And
we keep filling them, but it's, you know, it's,
So that's our jurisdiction, or is it the county that we have to let
it
know?
depends on where, now that one down at Brighton, that's county and state.
State.
That's state. That's a state one. So,
Mayor, could I
and
just-
we've been on them and on them,
Mayor, could I
and we
just
fill it,
address that? I just called the state.
and you guys fill it too.
My fire went in the hole. But I will tell you that it's getting progressively worse.
It's worse.
Which has led to it, moving on to the county roads. So today, I called the state and I called the head of our public works and told him I want to fix it ASAP. And I don't care if we have to do it, and then then send a notification to the
state, because it's always been a problem there on the corner there, but now it has really, really.
Yeah, they may
gotten
have to
very
take a
bad.
big chunk, a big
So
section.
not only that,
Patch it.
also the part of Tucker and Sylvania that you're talking about, I'll take a look at that on Neptune City side to see, because really it's probably Park County there, so I'll make sure, and if it is part of the county or if it's even close, I'll
I
make sure.
think the county's responsible for like 50 feet
Great,
up each
thanks.
road, right?
Um,
Pretty-
like
50
50
feet.
feet.
60. 60 feet up Walford County Road. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Kelly Strauss is 3 Overbrook Place. I'm sorry to bring it back to TFH, but I have a couple questions. Where can I find that report on the toxins that are coming out? How can I over request that? Where is it?
You could,
Who would have that? Like what department?
is it, I think it's emissions or is it state emissions or something? There is no report, there is no toxins. So
But
they,
you said there was
they,
a test that said it was clear that
they,
they tested.
yeah,
So
there
there should be
is
a
no
report.
toxins that are coming out of that, of their exhaust.
There has to be some
There
sort
has
of
to be some sort of
documentation.
report.
Yeah, through the,
Where
through
would
the
I get
FDA, I would assume that's where they
You think
would
the
check,
FDA?
because they don't feed, they don't feed animals the toxins, so
No, but sadly, there
that's
are
who,
a lot of
that's who
cleaning
does it.
products that, once they're burned off, might be a problem. The next question is, or a statement, who protects us when the EPA or the DEP hasn't been there to inspect in years? I mean, we presented you with the pre-construction permits that were not inspected since 2011.
Yeah, we passed the
They
one
were
at DEP.
expired. Right, but they were expired since
Yeah, but
2016.
DEP's
So-
been there, and we talked to them, they've
But
been
you-
there since, we spoke to them here.
I
DEP has
understand.
no issues pending right now
Well,
with TFH.
because they couldn't possibly, because they have to protect themselves, they haven't been here. So who's protecting us?
Well,
I mean, truthfully, you have to answer this. It was expired since 2016. Now, all of a sudden, the Neptune City homeowners start asking questions, and finally, oh my God, they're there inspecting and negotiating their new contracts, their new
well,
permits.
I don't know that because the Neptune City Homeowners Association started asking
No,
questions.
not
So
necessarily,
let's-
to-
hold on.
not our group, I'm talking
Hold
about
on,
the
you're, no,
homeowners.
and
And fair, be fair, 3 years.
I am being fair, and I said this before, we've been talking about this for 3 years.
But I'm asking you about the EPA and the DEP, you're saying to go to a higher entity, but they weren't there,
And we
so
have,
how,
and they've been there.
they weren't inspecting.
I don't know where you're getting your information from.
They were
I don't-
not inspected, they went back and
I-
inspected now.
I don't know.
This year, in
You're
April.
telling me they're not inspected?
No, they were failed, they are now.
They were not failed, they were
They
never
were failed for not
inspection.
doing pre-constructed permits.
They just did not file some of their permits for some of the equipment that they installed. But that's, again, I said it before, it's a DEP, and the DEP has,
They're understaffed and they haven't sent people, that's what I'm trying to say, so who
I
else us?
understand that, I don't know what you want me to do about that.
I want the truth though, that where do
I'm
we go to
giving you
get
the
help?
truth.
I
You
want-
just don't like the answer that I'm giving. There's a big difference. I had somebody make a statement that they went to a land use board meeting and they were told they
We weren't allowed
couldn't-
to talk.
But then we're not allowed to talk. I was at the meeting, you were allowed to talk, but the attorney
It had
said,
to be about the
it's
agenda.
not, but that's not their job to do that. It's just not the answer you wanted. That doesn't mean that but it's just not the answer you want. I mean,
We-
that's the bottom line.
So we can't go to the land use board to ask questions on how these things work unless it's on the agenda.
No,
But
once
nobody knows that.
No,
That's what we
once
were
it's-
told. If it wasn't on the agenda, we couldn't ask about it.
Their responsibility as a land use board is over when approvals are done. It goes to the construction official, and that's what was said that night. I know that's what was said. It's out of the jurisdiction of the land use board. They do not, that's not their jurisdiction.
We were just asking how things work in general. We weren't asking anything specific.
They're not allowed to discuss
So
an
then why would we
application.
go there unless something's on the agenda? It doesn't make sense. Why, we could go see that, John Smith can't get his fence because it's on the corner, but we can't ask questions about how zoning works. And that brings me to the next question. Could you please tell me where I can find the zoning that shows me that that building is an industrial. There is nothing. All our commercial does not say manufacturing or industrial. We can't find it. We've been Oprah requesting for weeks. We cannot find that zoning.
That's all I can tell you to do is Oprah requested, and they have to find it. I know it exists.
We've been told they can't find it.
What's the name of the document? That's it. I'm sorry.
They Oprah requested
The zoning,
the zoning
when they got the variance.
when they got the variance.
Yeah.
I believe it was like in the 70s or early 80s or something like that. I haven't seen it myself, but I was told that it was open and they were looking for it.
And we still don't have it.
I don't even know where I can't help you. I couldn't go find it. I didn't even know where to start looking. But we did the Oprah request, and we'll follow up with it. Albert made the notes that, let's follow up with where the Oprah request for the zoning for that property. Okay. And then check with Bill,
Or
because
manufacturing.
I spoke to Bill about that, and he said the zoning that there is.
There were two boards at the time, maybe
Yep.
it happened then.
And
Yeah,
I'll also ask for clarification from some for TFH as
Please.
well.
Thank you.
And I spoke to the construction official, and he verified that the zone that they're in is, they are operating.
He wasn't here at the time, I don't believe, right? He wasn't the zoning.
Yeah, he knows that he still knows what the law is. He understands.
There's gotta be a document within the county, it still says commercial within the county, within the state, and in
Yeah,
the federal.
maybe
It just says everywhere we look, all their tax documents, everything just says commercial. Commercial's not the same. In our books, in our ordinances, commercial does not mean manufacturing, and it doesn't mean industrial.
We'll start looking for that
And when
clarification.
that may be from when it was, the year it was done, maybe it was changed, I really don't know. Yes.
Am I in again?
Yeah.
Okay. So, listen, I have contacted the EPA and the Department of Environmental Protection. The thing is, these agencies are actually run by climate deniers. There's been mass resignation from the EPA in protest. So, in fact, the furthest place we could go, people resign because it's not run by the people that are trained to be doing this. The EPA, in fact, doesn't protect the people, it protects the industry, it protects those people. So I've actually done, as everything you have suggested, and I have it all, you can't contact the EPA, they're not gonna do anything. You know they're not gonna do anything. You have 20 people call, they're still not gonna do anything. But it is in fact run by people who simply do not care. We have the Department of Environmental Protection is also a further extension of this. These people are gonna clock in, then they're gonna go home, and we will continue breathing in terrible air. What do you think I should do? I don't want to come
Contact your legislator.
I contacted the legislature.
Contact the legislators. They are the ones who govern that. If Garrett doesn't fill a pothole, we can make Garrett fill a pothole. But that is not this governing body. I'm not trying to pick on
No,
Garrett, but you're right there. You know what I'm saying? It's the legislators who do this. It's bigger than us. It's in the state. It's in the, it's in our legislative district. If they're not doing anything, and the state legislators aren't doing anything, and the governor's office isn't doing anything, that's where all of that really is. Now, if they have people that are resigning and, I have no control of that.
But the thing is, from this perspective, I just reach a cul-de-sac of dead ends. What do you do? What do I do?
Oh, I can just reach out to your legislators. Trust me, there's a lot of things that I reach out to the legislators for, and many, many times I hit the same thing. Just because that's their responsibility doesn't mean that they're doing their job. Like I said, we as the governing body here in Neptune City, we have been on top of TFH publications for everything and anything that we have legal jurisdiction over. Outside of that, if there's a county issue, I can't fix a county road. I have to call our freeholders, and then our freeholders fix our county roads. If it's a state road, we have to call the state to do it. We all have that's the levels of government and legislation, and and that's really what you have to do. I mean, you have to keep going. You as an individual, you have every right to phone, email, and the more emails and phone calls that your legislators get, you know, it has more impact. So.
Mayor?
Yes.
How are you? Good evening, everyone. And I don't normally do this and come to these meetings. I have enough meetings to go to. But I just wanted to come here, and a lot of stuff that I've heard over the last few weeks that have occurred here in town has been somewhat like upsetting, because a lot of things that were personal that occurred, and I never came to address it. And I normally don't let these things bother me, but in one thing in particular really bothered me, and I just want to get on the record. Bob, you could handle yourself with this situation. I know that there was two individuals in the fire department that, when you had a situation with one of the fire company, let me clarify that, fire company. And I think you were one of the people, and you could handle your own, fight your own battles. But there was an individual that was treated extremely unfairly. I hear, I don't really know, but I hear that it was rectified. But I just want to set the record straight to each and every one of you up there, okay? We, a long time ago, and every person that's lived here for a very long time, always watched out for our own people, okay? And this is an individual that had a very difficult life, okay? And if he had to go and work and fulfill for his family, to do what was done to him, any person that had any part of that should be totally embarrassed and disgraced with themselves, because it was absolutely horrible. Even though, from what I understand, there's a reinstatement. I really don't know, and I really don't care what occurred afterwards, but the initial part of the embarrassment is an embarrassment of what happened. It's an embarrassment to Neptune City and the history of Neptune City, because we did not act like that. And quite frankly, you have a former person, and I'll say in the police department years ago, okay, that I went over and above against the wishes of every councilman up there, because of a situation that, you know what, he's a resident, he has a family, he has children, and we gotta take care of our own here in Neptune City. And to allow that just means to me one thing, that people are not connected with the history of the town. And that's all I'm asking, stay connected. Because you know what, you guys are, and I hear it all over the county, the bickering, the battling that's going on. And you know, I go way back with Kelly in the school, and the battling with Kelly, remember, years of school? The bottom line is, each and every one of you that are not here a long time, they're the decline of what occurred. And let me tell you why, okay? And every person that was, and no disrespect to you guys up there, I don't mean this directly towards you guys, because that was well before you up there. The bottom line, they were told what was going to happen here by me sitting in that chair probably 10 consecutive years where they were, okay? They allowed it to happen, so quite frankly, it was mismanagement, bad leadership, and that's where they stood today. Now we have to work together, unite together to make that the school that Colleen and our kids went to there, and make that's the most important component of this town. Then on top of it, I just heard the budget was passed. That's a total travesty of what I saw here in Neptune City. Understand this, we have working class people that live here, myself included. My father, each and every one of the people in this room here, they live in here and they work hard. They're blue collar people and they work hard. You cannot budget a line item with and I saw this when I read it. You budget a line item without a cause and without a reason. So you are taking taxpayer dollars to put in there with, we think we're gonna do this. Quite frankly, know the law before you're gonna do anything, because I understand, I could be wrong here, I could be totally wrong, and you guys can correct me if I am, right? That it's for planning for somebody else's property. Now, my other hat inside of development, it cannot happen. Council, you and I both know that you cannot, as a governing body, unless you go through a whole regulation of a redevelopment zone, declare the redevelopment zone, potentially take it through eminent domain, which you would have to purchase the actual assessed value of the property, okay? That's what it would cost you. So what you did is, because you'll never achieve that goal, okay, of taking that money, you took taxpayer money out of each and every one of here that you will never be able to fill. What can you say? Well, if we don't use it, this isn't our home where we put it back in our savings account. These people paid for it for the whole year of something that you cannot act on. Now, if you were to wanted to declare a parcel a redevelopment zone, you have every right to do that as a governing body. But it's a process. It's a process. I will tell you, I declared the Charlene Motel a redevelopment zone. Okay, I know what I went through there, and I know the cost. Fortunately, back then, the cost could be passed on to the developer. State regulations changed in 2013, where you cannot take money from a developer and use it to offset your costs. Okay, so the cost is absorbed by the town. Okay, ultimately, if you're going to better that area and you're going to make that a tax rateable that's more, but that's way down the road, and you have some major upfront costs that you're going to have to hear. I just want to make sure that the decisions that you're making, okay, are decisions that can accurately happen. Sound bites are good. Hey, listen, I've been doing this 25 years, okay, probably longer than most of you all together, okay? And I know that sound bites, okay, that's what a lot of people like to hear. A lot of people like to hear that when they're running for election. I'm up this year. People like to hear that all the time. But just have facts, and just know that Neptune City is just a little bit different. I'm not here as a freeholder. Listen, everybody knows here in this room, this town means a lot. I sat up there and we did a lot of things with a lot of people in this room. That we're all friends, and we worked and we argued. Kelly and I, we're neighbors. How many times we argue? Constantly, but how many times we also agree on things too. So all I'm saying is make sure the decisions that you're making, they have some weight to happen. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, just because we're government, that doesn't give us the right to just say, we're going to take this parcel and make it better. We're going to just tell this person he has to do that. There are rights. Do I sometimes agree with you guys? I would like to have that ability to do that. Yeah, I probably would, but it's not going to happen. And I just want to touch on the odor issue. Nobody in this room has gone through what I just went through in the last 2 months with odor. If anybody's familiar with the Reclamation Center, okay? And I've been dealing with it. We finally did it. We finally rectified it, I think. But it was rough. It was rough, and I was sitting in the same position you guys were, because DEP and EPA, they are useless. Okay? I'm saying it on the record. I'm saying it in front of Jen's camera. You're getting nowhere with them, and you're 100% right. In your state. You're 100% right. State government right now and it was dysfunctional when Christie was there. It's dysfunctional now when Murphy was there. And it's absolutely horrible. You have to make sure you have to do things yourself and utilize myself and the county. County is more of a part of government than it's ever been. Okay? Utilize our resources. If we have the ability to help you, I think I've spoken to each and every one of you at one time or another for some cause or so. But just think about your decision that you're making. If you can actually do that, your counsel, they'll advise you. Okay? Because some of the things you're making, you can't do. Regardless of what you think or what you want to do, we want to do many things in government. Unfortunately, some of us, they're handcuffed. But ultimately, that price is being paid by the people here because we're putting things in there. It's not like, all right, we won't spend it. No, you raised it. You raised it July 1st. So whatever dollar you put in there, July 1st is on everybody, including myself, tax bill, okay, that ultimately can't happen. You could say in January you won't do it again, or next July, yeah, but it's already gone. So please just think about the decisions before you make it. Believe me, I'm not challenging anyone here. I think that each and every one has the right intentions, okay? Just do some of your research first, okay? That's, just think about some of the decisions you made. It's a great town. Believe me, it's gonna come back to be just what it was years ago. You know, the school's a big component of it, okay? Let's not make that a division of politics there. It never was, okay? It was a division of a school and tell them when they're wrong. And believe me, I told them when they were wrong. And I also told them when I was wrong and went and coached the basketball team in the afternoon, okay? Because you know what? You gotta separate your feelings there. And but when they're wrong, they're wrong. And when people are wrong, they're wrong. Fight internally back and make a proper decision for the town. That's all I had to say.
All right.
Thank you.
Phil, thank you. The only thing I want to clarify is you were able to rectify your, I know you've been working your butt off on that, the reclamation center.
But there was a
but
fix,
it's a-
there was a mechanical
Right,
problem
but
that I
let's
fixed.
get
You're
one
right.
thing straight. It's a county landfill. The Monmouth County has complete say.
Absolutely, 100%. You're
We
absolutely
can't do that to
100%.
a private,
Yeah,
piece
that's
of private
just,
property.
Mayor, you're 100%
That's
right,
the
and let me
thing.
just clarify
And
that,
you
because
spent
you're
a lot of
100%
money.
right. What I just stated, you don't have the ability, unfortunately, I mean, I smell it too. You think I wanna smell that when I'm, taking a run down Savannah Avenue or something? No, it's brutal, okay? But you guys, you are a little bit handcuffed. I went through TFH, okay, when I was here as mayor. I went through it, I fought with the owner, like no tomorrow did I fight with him, all right? I had the health department here, I had testing done, odor quality testing, because that's really all you can do, is have any odor quality test. Because unfortunately, the DP, if you would have smelled the reclamation center, you think Donovan's bad? Huh, you just imagine what that reclamation center smelled like for the last 2 months. It was brutal. And I will tell you that we had it all tested, okay? And they did the same thing they did with you guys. And it's not right.
Where do you get those test results?
When I was here, we had, department, I think it was the health department, tested the odor quality.
Yeah, they've been,
They're all on top.
I've been Oprah and there's, but there.
I mean, I'll assist you with the health department at any
No,
time,
I
but
spoke to
it's
Chris
gonna come
today.
back, I'm sure you spoke to him, Chris, and Andrew, you're on there. Right, so you're on that board there, so it's just, I know everybody here, I am as frustrated as you are, okay? Gather together, okay, instead of, on separate sides of the aisle here, and just go in as a group and make it work. Don't one group talk about it, then another group, then I understand when you have homeowner meetings here, and you know what you're gonna get out of that? Division. That's all you're gonna get. You're gonna get no results, because guess what? This side ain't gonna agree to this side, and this side's not gonna agree to that side, and nothing's gonna get done. You will see here January 1st with not one thing accomplished this year, because you had divisions and take nothing. I don't know anything about this homeowner association, but I'm sure it's good because it's people, but don't use it as a division breaker that you're separating parties, because you know what? One side's not gonna agree to the other side, right or wrong, and
We're
nothing's
very
gonna get done.
nonpartisan, everybody's
That's-
welcome, and everybody
that's-
comes.
I'd like you to come to the meeting.
Yeah,
good.
it would be great.
I would love to.
Another meeting for you.
You're a resident, you're welcome.
I'm
Okay,
sure
thank
I'll
you.
fit it in on the Sunday.
Does anybody else from the
Okay.
public wish to
You
be
know,
heard?
but thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Does anybody else from the public wish to be heard? Really, Arlene?
Hi, Agnes,
Hey.
one more thing. It's
Please.
bit-
No, I'm
trees-
good. This young lady over here.
Sorry, Stacy Higgins, 29 Coastal Drive. I just want to speak with regard to the TFH smell and with regard to the homeowners association. We're only trying to find out resolutions, because we don't want TFH to leave, but we want them to be a good neighbor, like we're all supposed to be to each other. And we're just trying to find out what is that possible issue that, it ratcheted up. And, we've gone back and forth, says TFH know how bad it is, that kind of thing. And I understand, like, centers, smelling, all of that. My home smells, and it's constant basis, because I guess some areas get, like a regular flow of all of that.
Do you have
And-
a constant smell in your house? of
Constant,
TFH?
constant.
Well,
Can't open the windows,
Will
can't
you,
sit on the
if
deck.
it's constant, you need to call the Board of Health.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's a constant
100%,
smell,
yeah, 100%.
they will come out, and if they judge it by
I know,
the
we've
length
been
of
through it,
time, and if it's, they will sign.
Yeah, we've been through, all of that, and then I'm just mentioning, because you're familiar, obviously, with Coastal Village, Anthony, we had a new resident move in, and, they were, actually asking some of the neighbors, what is that smell? And they're talking about, they wanna go back to their real estate agent, because nobody disclosed that to them. And so, you don't wanna get into those kind of things too, where people are worried about selling their properties, and do you have to tell somebody outright about this, because they're questioning that the neighbors across the way are like, oh yeah, it's really bad, and they're like, well, nobody told us about this. And so, it gets into that kind of stuff too. And another reason that we formed the group is because we've sat at meetings, and we hear people talking about, they wanna put signs on their front lawn about how Neptune City stinks. And maybe that'll get some recognition. So people out of the building and protesting, and I think
we can all agree, nobody wants any of that, because that doesn't, you know, exactly, like, we don't want somebody calling the news and having them come take pictures of people protesting in Neptune City, you know, and having that kind of stuff go viral, so, you know, we're just trying to, you know, reasonably work, you know, and find out a solution for all of this, and so we want to partner, we don't want
And
to be.
I understand, and I don't know how much more I can express it. We're not, it's not like I'm not doing anything, where I'm working hard, I'm fighting with them, to the
100%,
point
I
where,
just don't want
you
you, I
know,
want you to understand, we're not trying to be difficult either, we're just trying to figure out, like, you know, what is this, where we can kind of all come together.
and we are trying.
Just the way a neighbor, you know, is doing, you know, something to bother, you know, the next door neighbor, whether you're a hoarder or something like that, we just want them to try and be a good neighbor to the rest of us.
I understand that, and that's what we're trying to get them to do. We've been trying to get them to do.
And we do appreciate you.
You know, I try, I mean, I've gone, probably pushed the level of what I'm allowed to do and say to them. I know I've pushed the level of what I'm allowed to do, or what I'm allowed to say to, some individuals over there, but if there's nobody else there to witness it, it doesn't, you know, didn't happen. But, you know, and again, I'm gonna continue on them. I will call them again tomorrow. And again, if you have a constant smell in your house, that's a problem. We need to address that. I will call the director of Monmouth County Health Department tomorrow and talk to him about it. And please leave me your address. I always got your address. So, and I'll meet them down there.
And that's the thing, we just want to know, like, you know, what can be done, who are the right people to talk to, and not, you know, go in circles and everybody's frustrated and nothing.
Right.
You know.
So part of the problem has been, we call the Monmouth County Health Department. We we know it smells. There's no doubt that it smells when the smell's out there. The health department comes down, the smell's gone. You know, they say, well, it's not for a long period of time, and it's not really overwhelming. But if it's constant, that's a different issue. And we're gonna get that down there, and we're gonna make them follow what regulations they have. And I will. I've met with the health department. I've met them out there. I've met with the health department in Freehold to see other things that we can do. And we've done, like I said, I keep saying it, we've done everything we can under the law. And I'm not allowed to break the law. I can't go lock the gate and put a bar across the door or anything. We're not allowed to do that.
No, 100%. And, you know, even talking to the DEP, they're like, well, you can track it and all of that, and that becomes a, you know, full-time job. And, you know, people work and, you know, you have responsibilities and things to take care of. And so, you know, it's kind of, you know, you feel like you're just left there frustrated, like, you know, sucking it up and, you know, smelling this. But then, you know, if you do go to sell your home, then, you know, it's something that this neighbor brought up, and I had never thought about that. And I'm not a real estate professional, but that concerns me.
And we'll look into that. I'll get a hold of you tomorrow or the next day. Thank you. Does anyone else wish to be heard?
I do have just one more thing.
Arlene, if it's about TFH.
No. No. Actually, it's about trees. And I know, since Mr. Noon's here, I'm just
about to walk
out. And I just been asked that question as well. Like, we were promised some trees, and you say that.
I will tell you that, the last time I looked, I saw that it was on their schedule, the street tree. I will definitely look into it tomorrow, for sure. 100%, because you're owed those trees.
Okay.
So those people can put back there, and they should be there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Normally, you're not supposed to address him anymore, but we don't get him to come here too often, so we'll put him on the spot. Thank you. Yes, this young lady's been patiently waiting from, state your name and address for the record.
Clear Eye, Patty Scott, 220 West Sylvania. Do you think you could possibly put an ad in the coaster, a small ad, explaining to the residents in town that they have to sign up for Nixle? Because nobody knows about it, and I've had a problem with it too.
Or the board.
But
Yeah, actually, I have a meeting, we're gonna have a meeting with the chief and the captain to discuss the response.
Okay,
Or not.
what else did I want to ask you? Nixle, summer rentals, is the council or any committee in the process of instituting some kind of rules and regulations for summer rentals in this town?
As far as summer rentals, no, I mean, everybody has, you have the right, as long as you go through the process, you can rent your house out in the summertime. You can rent it out on a month-to-month basis, as long as you go through the process, as long as they come in and get a CI and they get the inspection every time, that they're supposed to do that. Now, does everybody do it? No. Is there a way that we can regulate it? Not without maybe somebody making a phone call and saying, hey, there's some people moving in and out of here every month. You know, I mean, if it's happening next door to you, pick up the phone and let us know. But other than that, it's really very difficult to know what's going on inside somebody else's house, you know?
Well, I understand, excuse me, I understand that we had a big problem in town with it.
We what?
With summer rental,
We've had a big problem?
yeah,
Not that I'm aware of.
on Lincoln Avenue, we have a big problem.
Well, there's a big problem in one house?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a problem with a house on Lincoln Avenue, not a big problem in Neptune City.
Well,
so we
exactly.
will address that if you have.
But people are getting very smart. People are starting to know
If
that we're
you
here,
see it,
you know?
if you see something, say something. We will address it. But like I said, our people aren't out looking for that every day. If you see it happening next door to you, pick up the phone and make a phone call. Someone will look into it. I promise you. I'll put that down. If you have a problem, something like that, please let us know, and we'll address it. We have construction officials, we have code enforcement. Code enforcement will address it. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but we'll address it tomorrow with municipal offices, and construction, and the code office. Yes.
Hi, Colleen Christie, 79 Lincoln. It's been addressed, the issue on Lincoln Avenue.
Oh,
I
okay,
can tell
good.
you more after, but it's
Okay.
been addressed.
All right, back to me now. Okay. I saw in something I was reading that Monmouth County has 6 opportunity zones, and Little Neptune City has been declared an opportunity zone in Monmouth County.
Yeah, so
And all the other towns are very big.
Right, so I just actually spoke to another mayor this afternoon who has an opportunity zone declared in his house. As a freehold, did freehold leave?
Yeah, he's
You know what we talked about before about sound bites? Okay.
Yeah.
This is another thing that the state rolled out. They declared areas that are opportunity zones, but they do not have any details on what the opportunity zone actually benefits. It's not a local thing. The opportunity zone it's something that the state can help somebody with if they want to move business into town. The problem is right now, nobody has given us any information on actually what they'll do. I hear that it's going to be coming soon, but what they probably should have done was got all that together instead of putting it out and sound bites, and it really, there's nothing there. They have nothing that they've presented to us other than, oh, your Neptune City's an opportunity zone. Well, what does that do for us? Well, we don't know yet. We'll let you know later. When we figure out what it'll actually do for you, we'll let you know. But you're an opportunity zone. And I just spoke to another mayor in a town that's even larger than ours, and he's got a couple opportunity zones.
They're
and
all
he said-
larger than us.
He said,
Yeah.
he goes, yeah, but nobody's coming because nobody can give us we can't tell anybody what it'll do, what it can do for them. So I thank you for paying attention to that, and I've been constantly with the, when are we gonna find out? So hopefully soon somebody will.
I mean, there is some information online about it, but
Yeah, but it's
not a whole lot.
It's
Just
not
a
really,
general
they really don't
overview.
know yet. They don't know exactly what it's gonna do. When they do, and they let us know, we'll present it, and, but again, it's not something that Neptune City is going to do. There's gonna be some tax relief and things of that nature, but not on a local municipality level. The tax relief is gonna come from state level. Now, exactly what that relief and how they're gonna make it work, they've not given us any of that information yet, so.
on New Jersey Network, they're reporting from down at Memorial Park about, oh, it's been flooded out, and this, that, and the other thing, yada, 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 and resilient New Jersey. So I think, oh, I wonder what that is. So look it up online. And that's another program with the state. Resilient New Jersey, and the slogan is Choose New Jersey. And it's got to do with adjacent towns and the water situation. So I thought, well, you got Neptune City, you got Neptune, you got Wall Township. They're all on Sharp River. Do you know anything at all about Resilient New Jersey?
No, that's another one that, again, it's, you know, we create, to create something that sounds good.
It's been around.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, it
it's-
isn't a new program, but I had never heard of it. Probably nobody else has either. I just thought.
I'll look into it, but
Thought you might have.
I don't know, I'm not real familiar with it, and I don't know of any other surrounding towns that are familiar with it or fall under the, whatever, you know, I've never heard anybody using it, or what it even would provide. Look into it. You read that? Yeah, thank you. Anybody else from the public wish to be heard? See none, I need a motion to adjourn.
May I ask you a quick thing before we go, Mayor? So, real quick. So, resident Melissa Whalen had approached me. I'm sorry if I should have brought this up under new business, but she had an idea that I thought it was worthy of elevating to the council. Now that we got the signboard fixed out front, might be nice if we got together with the business office and did like an inspirational quote on the board every week, just something that people could look forward to. Once a week, it could be, you know, a saying, and there's certainly enough Google searches you could do for short things that could be put out there just to give people something to look forward to on the board every month, or every week rather, I'm sorry. So, something that maybe we can talk to Brian about. I don't know if everybody thinks.
Yeah,
it's a good
run out
idea.
to your administrator's office, you be careful what you put on the board. No, I'm not kidding you. I mean, just because we think something
Obviously,
means
it has to be
something,
something new.
you know, as soon as you offend somebody, it's,
Yeah.
Lord knows it's not hard to offend somebody today.
But that was just something that was brought forward, and I thought
Okay,
it would be a good idea.
let's take a look at it and, have Brian maybe do a little research on it.
And the only other thing I was happy to hear, I went to the Board of Ed meeting last week, and I guess it was brought forward that you were able to go over and make an arrangement, I guess, then fix the sidewalk over the course of the summer. So you're able to make that happen, so I'm happy to hear that.
Yep, we'll make that happen.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Glenn, did you want to go first?
Sure. Just an announcement for our DPW, street sweepers will be going through next week, zone 2 on the 1st and zone 1 on the 2nd. And a reminder that all the residents and business owners need to recycle their cardboard, don't put it in the trash. So,
Or Garrett will let you know that.
I just wanted to comment that the police department had a steak bake, and it was a wonderful event, and it was a nice community event, and it raised a lot of money for the police department, and it was nice to see and nice to be there and be part of. And also, Nixle, I was going to bring that up. If Peter, you could put that in the coaster for us, that would be wonderful. Just for residents to sign up if you haven't done so already at NeptuneCityNJ.com is our website. Sign up for Nixle. There's a link there that you can sign up to get alerts in town. And I don't know if Chief, you have any more comments about the Nixle?
Actually, Captain Mitchell might, because he's the spearheading this program.
It's still a new program to us. The program's been around for a while. Towns like Ocean Township, Asbury have used it. We only rolled it out a couple weeks ago, so there's gonna be some glitches, there's gonna be some bugs. And Scott, I would be more than happy to meet with you if we can get your account straightened out. So it's just the work in progress. You know, the more people we get signed up, I know, talk to the senior building about, or the community center about getting some programs together to get it out to some of the seniors especially. And in town, National Monday, we'll probably have a table set up to get people signed up for it. So it's a work in progress, but we're definitely working towards trying to get it up and running so everybody gets the alerts correctly. So I think it's a little more effective than the old program we had, which was just create a message and call it out. We're all tech people nowadays, you know, nobody really answers their phone at home. So that's why it seemed to work better. There's more options with it. So, but I'd be more than happy to meet with you after
Okay,
discuss your problem.
actually,
It's just real quick.
can you talk to him afterwards?
Sure.
Because he's gonna have to answer the question. 'Cause
Okay.
Your questions are supposed to be to me,
Well,
you know, and then you can go
well, I
see.
can tell you and you can.
No, I'd rather you go see him, because we're actually gonna have a meeting so that we all, I understand exactly how we're doing this, because we got a couple of ways to do it.
No, I like it.
You know, we've had, like I said, we've had the response, the return 911, or reverse 911 for years. We used it aggressively when it was fairly new during Sandy, and it was extremely helpful. And this one, this is even better because eventually we'll be able to reach more people. So it will definitely be better. But afterwards, if you want to see the captain, okay. So I need a motion to adjourn.
Mayor, just a couple more things. I wish Freeholder Arno were still here to address a couple of things that he stated. The first thing that he stated about the fire company is that the council had nothing to do with that. So he was kind of preaching to the choir because we agree with them. So I'm not sure where he was going with that, but just to let the audience know that you're preaching to the choir. We had nothing to do with that, and we're glad that it was resolved. And the second thing he was talking about was the budget, and he was talking about a particular parcel that we have a line item for, which is inaccurate information. And I wish you were here for those budget discussions, because the redevelopment plan that we put forth for a budget item was for the whole town. It was for a rehabilitation plan for the whole town. So I'm not sure where he was getting his information for, but it seems like it was misinformation. So just to clarify that as well.
Okay, so we'll let him know that he had misinformation. He didn't understand what he was talking about. Now I need a motion to adjourn. Offered by Mr. Wardell, second by Mr. Calhoun. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.